Spoke with Jimmy Carter. They're ready for us down there, and they're anxious to get a lot of Pro-Am entries, and the Pro Tour is ready to head south, but we still have 2 more games to decide the Fairlanes champion. Weber with the hot hand semifinal game.
Leaving the 10-pin on the left lane here at Fairlanes, one of 20 establishments in the Baltimore-Washington area. The firm, all total, have 112 centers in 18 states. Here in Baltimore, where duck pins started, some of the facilities are for that sport.
And speaking of duck pins, Chris, I went to practice at one of the Fairlane centers yesterday. They had 8 duck pin lanes, and for people that don't know what that is, it's a regulation lane with a very small pin and a 4-pound bowling ball. Kind of fun, but I think most people prefer the 10s. Now, here's the big guy, D'Entremont.
215 and weight. Well, this is the time when you'd like to punt or lateral a pin or 2.
You're right, Chris. A 5-step delivery for D'Entremont. Pretty good position right here. And once again, we heard Curtis Odom saying he was a little bit soft. D'Entremont was a little soft in the shot. Pays the penalty going right through the middle, the big 5.
A lot of power in that man's stroke, isn't there?
Well, we saw Alan Bishop, our Quaker State Open champion, make that particular shot earlier in the year, but right now, D'Entremont has opened the door in the early going for Weber. Well, let's see how D'Entremont, with that power ball, plays the championship here. Pretty standard power player. I like his form. I like his style. He's going to be right up a little left center. He's going to drift a little to the left. He's going to try to be over the second arrow. If he can keep those lines going, he'll get it in the pocket.
10-pin for Dave, who's in his 5th television appearance. For his opponent, Pete Weber, Pete's in his 60th telecast. As Bob Learn Jr., that's the pinfall of a very powerful shot. He's the tournament leader and will meet the winner of this game for the championship. Though I have great affection for this city because, well, I did a lot of giant colt games and also announced races at Bowie Racetrack early in my career. And I found the people that inhabit this state are so friendly. And the food's not too shabby either.
You got to like those crabs. That's where I'm headed tonight. The weather's good, the crab's good, and the bowling is great. Now here's Weber's second frame.
No, 2 and sleeper 8.
Exciting.
You could hear him say, what an exciting shot. And Weber just kind of tops that ball. If there's one thing that nobody at the professional level can afford to do is go over the top of the ball. Now Weber needs to get the ball in this area, drive the 2 into the 8 to convert the spare. But I say go over the top. That means turn the ball a little too quickly. You don't get the lift or leverage, and the ball will not hook enough to get into the pocket.
Self-grandizement. Don't break that arm, Pete.
Weber had an excellent year in 1991, cashing in every tournament of the year that he participated in except the very last. He was 18 of 19 cashes and 15 of 15 on the winter tour. Not quite off to that good a start this year, but he has himself a chance in this game.
All right. The defending champion, Pete Weber. Now with a spare up, Dave D'Entremont of Parma, Ohio. 7-time regional champion. Like Weber, using more than the approach gives you. All right, beautiful shot. Still a close match.
D'Entremont, Weber, and our tournament leader, all power players. Our first 2 players that were eliminated by Weber, Ferraro and Odom, pretty standard what we call down and in players. But now we're left to complete power, as you saw D'Entremont just split the rack there in the 3rd frame. Using the full grip, finger grippers to get a little more leverage, a glove for more leverage, and a good wrist. That's what puts the power on the ball. Watch this one.
Oh, yes. Putting that pressure on the Triple Crown champion. It is all even now, so don't go away. We'll be back soon. Wonderful scenario for our semifinal game here in the Fairlanes Open. The match is all even. This man can take a lead. He has a strike up. His opponent, Dave d'Entremont, is on a roll, too. No, it just slid by, washing everything out. 2-8-10. And as we said earlier, sometimes Pete gets down on himself when the shot doesn't give the result he wants, but he'll go for the 2-8. And, nearly. Okay, Bo.
Thank you, Chris Schenkel. Our tournament leader, Bob Warren Jr., Mr. 300, but you've never been a tournament leader and had to bowl one game for the title. What are your thoughts as you get ready to go out?
My thoughts are, as always, I just take one shot at a time and hope things work out.
How about when you're bowling for the 300 game? Is that what you do?
Same thing. I just take one shot at a time. As my old coach used to tell me, if you start thinking, you start stinking.
All right. Good luck. He's going to be very tough, Chris, and Weber is struggling now.
Yes, he is. He had an open frame in the previous, and now he's left 3-6-10. Nearly unbeatable when he doesn't get down on himself. Now d'Entremont comes back onto the scene, and Dave has a double working. He can increase his lead to 22 pins as we reach nearing rather the halfway mark of the semifinal game. So Pete Weber now is down 22 pins. Dave d'Entremont has a chance to win today, but getting to the top 5 was not so easy.
Well, Wednesday morning I started off with a shiny surface ball, which wasn't hooking very much, and I struggled. Wednesday night, the second round, I went to a duller surface ball, which gave me more hook, allowed me to loosen up my arm swing. I bowled well Wednesday night, Thursday morning, and I knew if I kept my concentration together and executed well, I'd have a chance to bowl today.
He started in 117th, jumped to 61st, 18th. Now he's either first or second if he can beat Weber.
Wow. Turning it on, that's his dad on the left, his father Paul, and his wife Sylvia.
Well, Weber, who has kind of come unglued here with a really bad shot in the second frame, but he got a spare, paid for it in the fourth, errant in the fifth, has got to stay behind that ball and get aggressive.
One board. Back and forth. One board.
Well, he's lost track of the lanes. He's made an adjustment. And what happened? Even the most experienced player can make an adjustment for a bad shot, and then you really get confused. That's what's happened to Weber. The 310 baby split. He's in trouble. And Chris, normally he throws a hard shot across lane at that 310, and I think that you picked it up. He's down on himself, and he's almost forgotten what gets him there.
Yeah, we've seen so many. He's won 18 at only 29 years of age. He is a Triple Crown winner, but we've seen him lose some when he get upset like most of us do. Most competitors do sometime. Okay. This is a semi-final game in Baltimore, trailing by 45. Imagine. We'll be back. It's right to Florida Open next week. Rightfully so. Looking at that score sheet, Bo, Dave d'Entremont, while we were away, with 4 in a row through the 7th, He made it 5 in a row in the 8th, and now this.
Struggling, Chris, and he actually opens the door a little bit for Weber as he has the 2, 4, 6, 7, and he's going for it. Now, what this sets up for Pete Weber is an outside chance to still win the match. Weber has a potential 2-13 game if he can strike out. He struggled through the first 6 frames, set up a strike in the 7th, so he can still give D'Entremont a match. D'Entremont going at a 2:10 pace. Weber trailing by 37, but there's still room. Has to strike.
Ooh, 10.
Chris down on himself, just like you said. I could hear his words up here, kind of sardonically saying, that's what I get for making a good shot. Not a good break, but he's in trouble.
Okay, Pete Weber having his problems. We'd like to say tomorrow on ABC Sports, we'd like for you to join us. College basketball doubleheader. 7-up shootout live from St. Petersburg, Florida, beginning at 1:30 Eastern, 10:30 Pacific. Game 1 features the Florida State Seminoles taking on the Blue Demons of DePaul. Then Game 2. Pete Weber getting another 10 pin. That Game 2 in our doubleheader tomorrow showcases 5th-ranked Arizona against the Temple Owls. 2-for-1 hoops, as they say at ABC Sports, live. That's tomorrow. This is today. Reality coming back, and 38 pins separating these two professionals. The leader is this man. 6 feet 1 inches tall, 215 pounds. Got a piece of the 10 pin on the right lane.
Has been going to the sideboard, and as it comes across the lane, the vernacular for that on the Pro Bowlers Tour is the bird dog coming across. Doesn't quite do the job, but right now Dave D'Entremont has this match well in hand. And if you look at his track record in the championship round, you could expect that. He has averaged 225 for all his appearances in the championship round. He's going to have a chance to bowl for a title.
And, of course, last week, a first-time winner in Bruce Hamilton. Here's an 18-time champion, Pete Weber.
D'Entremont needs 3 pins on 2 balls. Chris, I'm sending you in, partner. I think you can handle this one.
All right. One of the regional titles that Dave won was in my home area of Fort Wayne. Yeah, I could make 3 with 2 balls, I'll bet. Okay, more than enough. Dave D'Entremont will go against Bob Learn. ABC Sports presentation. The